Coca-Cola operates in more countries than the United Nations. That's not trivia, it's a power signal. Beverage giants don't just sell drinks, they shape policy, taxes, water access, lobbying, trade. If you run a city or ministry, their decisions hit your budget fast. This is governance disguised as refreshment. When you look at the global beverage valuation chart, you're not looking at market caps. You're looking at governance footprints. These companies shape sugar taxes, water access, agricultural policy, zoning laws, cross-border trade, and even election year fiscal forecasts. Coca-Cola, Moutai, Pepsi, Starbucks, Monster, Diageo. They're not just sellers of drinks, they're transnational actors with influence that rivals mid-sized governments. And if you run a city, a state, a ministry, or a non-profit, their decisions hit your budget instantly. Coca-Cola is a global giant operating in over 200 countries, more than the UN itself. Local governments depend on its sales taxes. And when lawmakers float sugar taxes, Coke funds campaigns and lobbying blitzes to tip the scales. This isn't just a beverage company. It's a distributed governance system with its own foreign policy footprint, negotiating with ministers like an energy company. Moutai, worth 256.7 billion, is China's most powerful alcohol brand and a state-backed political instrument. Pricing isn't just market-driven, it's government-orchestrated. For decades, Moutai has been embedded in elite networks, gifting culture and bureaucratic influence. When the Chinese government cracks down on corruption, Moutai prices shift. When Beijing wants to signal discipline or nationalism, the branding shifts with it. This is what happens when a beverage becomes part of national political identity. Its valuation becomes a geopolitical indicator, and every fluctuation carries meaning. Beverage giants like Pepsi, Starbucks, and AB InBev operate deep inside the machinery of public administration. Agricultural subsidies, water permits, waste regulations, tariff structures, school nutrition rules, alcohol licensing. Their valuations don't just reflect consumer demand, they reflect regulatory victories. A change in packaging law means millions at stake. A tariff tweak can start a market share war. The bigger the company, the more legislation quietly bends around it. So the real questions aren't about market caps. They're about governance. What happens when governments depend on beverage giants for revenue stability? What happens when public health costs skyrocket while corporate valuations climb? And what happens when US and Chinese beverage giants collide across trade lanes, water systems, and regulatory frameworks? These aren't business questions. These are public administration questions, with global consequences. Here's the blunt truth. Beverage companies are governance actors. Their power shapes zoning, taxes, health outcomes, and international economics. Public policy isn't written exclusively in legislatures. It's written in boardrooms worth hundreds of billions of dollars. If you lead in government, nonprofits, or policy, you cannot afford to treat these companies as business news. They are your fiscal landscape, your health burden, your political constraints. Men lie, women lie, the numbers never do. Subscribe to Blunt Policy and stay sharper than your competition.